So not one, but two Daily Mail hit pieces in 2 days on Hannah Spencer. Ooh, they are scared. Now, ever since the constituency poll that shows the Greens winning, we've seen a massive increase in attacks on the Green Party. So let's look at these Daily Mail articles and laugh as we sift through the bullshit they've written about her. The Green Party's Brexit-mocking eco-zealot candidate in Gorton and Denton, who drives a petrol car and owns 2 homes and has a taste for globe-trotting holidays. This ought to be good. The Green Party's candidate in the Gorton and Denton by-election faces allegations of hypocrisy for jetting off on foreign holidays and co-owning homes worth over £1 million. Hannah Spencer's Instagram account also shows the environmentally conscious prospective MP posing next to what appears to be a petrol car emblazoned with campaign slogans. Oh no, she went on holiday. She went to Amsterdam for 12 days. Oh my God. Also, that car she's posing next to, that's not even hers, but the fact that it's petrol, that doesn't matter. But while Denton and Gorton contain some of the Greater Manchester's most deprived neighbourhoods with incomes 25% below the national average, Miss Spencer owns 2 houses in Greater Manchester, most affluent postcodes, with her former biochemist partner, Dr. Stephen Holman. Separately, her social media accounts shows numerous long and short-haul holidays. Trips documented on social media include Amsterdam in 2018, separate Spanish trips to Valencia and Barcelona in 2016, and a transatlantic jaunt in 2014 to New York and San Francisco. The same year, she also travelled to Hungary. I'm so appalled that Hannah goes on holiday. It's not like the rest of us do. And it's very patronising to working class people because apparently working class people don't go on holiday. And this is just pure vibe politics, which is, well, look, you have to be really, really poor. Therefore, you represent people. Like, socialism is not a poverty cult, but these people want it to be the case. And by the way, saying residents in Gorton and Denton, are 25% lower in terms of income than the national average, you do realise when you become an MP, you're earning 90 grand a year. So everyone who's in Parliament, on average, earns more than the national average. But of course, that doesn't matter, does it? Like, I don't care that Hannah Spencer is on decent money, as long as she supports the same for everybody else. It's the same with Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn was born in a middle-class family, went to private school because his parents sent him to it, and he grew up in Shropshire. Like, he's very, very middle class. But he had politics and policies that represented ordinary people. Keir Starmer, who can't stop telling people that his dad was a toolmaker, although apparently he owned the factory, grew up in a Pebble Dash house, right? He grew up working class, and yet he represents the elite. It doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is your politics now. Miss Spencer and Dr. Holman were living in a smart terraced home in affluent Sale and splurged £750,000 on another property less than 5 miles away in Altrincham 18 months ago. Voters in Gorton spoke of their disappointment at the Green Party's candidate's hypocrisy over her love of flying and foreign holidays. I mean, first of all, what is hypocritical about loving foreign holidays? She has not once said, and the Green Party has not once said, no one is allowed to go on foreign holidays, no one is allowed to fly, because that would be hypocritical. They've literally not said that. But because they're environmentally conscious, apparently that's hypocritical. What the Daily Mail is saying is, despite the fact that the majority of people in this country do care about the planet, do like green policies, they're saying that working class people do not give a shit about the planet because they fly. Shit, I've been on a plane, right? I've gone on holiday. Does that mean I don't care about climate change? No. They also criticise her for owning 2 homes when many were struggling with the cost of living. Grandmother Irene Baxter, 77, said, "It's pretty outrageous. How can she stand for a party that wants to clamp down on air travel when she jets all over the world herself? I was going to vote for her as I've had it with Labour and all their lies, but she seems to be like the rest of them." I mean, I don't believe this, but I mean, she's 77, so like 99% chance she is a Tory or Reform anyway. It's not their target demographic, but she hasn't lied about anything. Airport worker Paul Hall, 43, said, "I liked the sounds of her as she's a local. She came across as a down-to plumber." Don't you mean down-to-earth plumber? But to find out she's got lots of money with 2 homes is outrageous. How can she stand as a Green candidate when she loves air travel and jetting off around the world? She's a hypocrite. Self-employed Mike Kurth, 49, said, "She shouldn't stand as an MP if she doesn't do what she preaches." Seriously, who are these people? Are they even real? But she doesn't own 2 homes, by the way. This is the lie from the Daily Mail. She has her own house and her ex has another house, but because they were together, she was on the paperwork. Now, of course, They've broken up. They're probably trying to untangle that. But she still goes round and helps them do up the house. I'm assuming they're amicable. But it's crazy the way this is being framed. Because she's been on holiday, she's jet setting. What do you mean jet set? Like, what are you talking about? People go on holiday. And again, the Greens have not said you're not allowed to go on holiday. You're not allowed to use a plane. No one has said that. Now, the second Daily Mail piece focuses on the houses. Green Party candidate Hannah Spencer branded property hoarding hypocrites with 1.2 million real estate portfolio and tips on intimidating buyers and driving up prices. She does not have a real estate portfolio. Okay, she's not a landlord and she's not hoarding housing to rent it back to people. Remember, she stands on a platform and a manifesto that wants to abolish landlords. But the Daily Mail saying, oh, 2 homes, 1.2 million pounds. They've just realised that housing is expensive because we have a housing crisis. Now, this paragraph is hilarious, but his candidate, Hannah Spencer, 34, has amassed a 1.2 million property empire and offered tips on how to rip off first-time homeowners, flip properties, and intimidate buyers. Property empire. First, I nearly fell off my seat just reading that. As I said, her ex bought the house, right? She didn't pay for it. He bought it, and she goes round and helps him do it up. She's a plumber, remember? Okay? She doesn't have housing that she rents out, and yet they're framing this as an empire. It's hilarious. Again, 2 houses worth 1.2 million pounds because we have a housing crisis. Properties are really expensive. It's the same hit piece against Jeremy Corbyn. The attack line against him was, oh, he lives in a £1 million mansion in London. He lives in a small terraced house, but because housing is so expensive in London, it's worth over £1 million, which when he bought it, it obviously wasn't worth that. And Jeremy Corbyn could have taken advantage of house price increases and sold it and made money and then become some sort of landlord, but he hasn't. He's just chosen to live there. He can't help that prices of housing has gone up. So what exactly are we learning here? Hannah Spencer isn't poor and she went on holiday. Now look, the Green Party has shifted to focus on systemic issues around the climate and less on individual responsibility. There is no contradiction with driving a car, going on a plane, and eating meat and being a Green Party member, because it's the big oil companies who are destroying the planet. Carbon footprint is a propaganda tool by the big companies to put blame on the individual, and that's what the Daily Mail was doing. The Greens, under Zach Polanski, are shifting towards the working class. They want to appeal to petrol drivers, to meat eaters, to people who fly, not just eco-conscious people, because they're trying to build a mass party. Yes, they're called the Greens. Yes, of course, they care about the environment, but Zach is trying to turn it into a mass class party for the working class, which is good. And by the way, when you have a Green New Deal, not only is that good for the planet, it's also good for the working class. Clean jobs, for example. But what matters are the policies of the Greens. They want to end privatisation. They want more money in public services. They want to abolish landlords. Reform and Labour support privatisation. They take money from oil companies and support a genocide. But given there's only a couple of days left on the campaign, the establishment are scared about a Green victory. You know full well Labour are briefing to the media trying to find dirt on Hannah. Every single Reform MP went to private school. Labour have a bunch of landlord MPs. Who's going to represent the working class? Well, I guess it can't be Hannah because she went on holiday.